What do you think is the main cause for displaced analysis? Well, I'd imagine that it is a lack of information. Although insufficient information may be one of the symptoms, it is not the main cause. In my observation, team, intellectual laziness and lack of curiosity are more often the reasons people fail to appreciate and analyze their situations correctly.
Welcome to Create New Futures, thought-provoking conversations with leaders, experts, and interesting minds. Join us as we explore ideas and reflect on practices that you can use and apply to create and shape the future. With your host, author, and strategy consultant, Aviv Shahar.
On this episode, we bring you a segment from the audible of Aviv's book, Create New Futures.
What problem are you trying to solve? Tim did not sound his usual self. His weaker voice revealed disappointment and sense of letdown. I'm worried that my team is not motivated to embrace our expanded mission and climb the next mountain in front of us. But what is the reason for your worry? What evidence do you have that they are not motivated? I asked. Well, our kickoff meeting yesterday was not as exciting or energizing as I had expected. Some people were focused on minor details, while others did not engage in the conversation at all. I just did not get the feeling that our team is embracing the future we are trying to create. I understand, Tim, and I can visualize the picture of your meeting. Have you considered the possibility, though, that you are diagnosing your team's response incorrectly? It is plausible that what you call lack of motivation is a case of displaced diagnostic. What do you mean by displaced diagnostic? Our meeting obviously lacked energy and a sense of motivation to move forward. I proceeded to make the following 2 points. First, unless you diagnose the problem you are trying to solve correctly, you're unlikely to implement an effective intervention. Second, the danger in displaced analysis is that trying to solve the wrong problem or one that does not exist will cause you to miss the problem at hand. In your situation, I can think of 4 possible reasons why you felt your team's lack of motivation. Before we explore these, tell me why people fail to analyze situations correctly. What do you think is the main cause for displaced analysis? Well, I'd imagine that it is a lack of information. Although insufficient information may be one of the symptoms, it is not the main cause. In my observation, team, intellectual laziness and lack of curiosity are more often the reasons people fail to appreciate and analyze their situations correctly. Often it takes work to identify the cause of a given problem. When you practice diagnostic thinking and make plausible cause distinctions, you will stand out for the clarity you bring and for doing work that others prefer to not pick up. Many people find it easier to stay at a superficial level of analysis. It provides them with an alibi for not initiating change and excuses their failure to create the desired new future. Tim laughed. I see this kind of laziness at work every day. But we don't want to be lazy here, so let us get to the point. Smiling confidently, he proceeded, what are the 4 possible factors I lazily mischaracterized as lack of motivation? Well, the first possibility is that people are not excited because they do not see the same future that you do. Ask yourself, have I painted a clear and compelling picture of the future? One that clearly outlines what success will look like. The second possibility is that you have painted a clear picture at a high level, but have not communicated clearly that each person has a personal opportunity within the future state. In this case, your team may understand the picture of the expanded mission at a high conceptual level, but it's evident they don't realize yet that each individual can contribute to its achievement. The third possibility as to why your team seems to lack motivation is while they do understand the big picture and see their individual contributions, they don't believe they have the tools or capabilities to realize their opportunities. Ask yourself, have we provided people with the tools and capabilities to address the opportunities before us? If they do not feel competently ready, the opportunities becomes a source of anxiety rather than of excitement. The fourth possibility is that they have the tools, but given their other projects, they are uncertain about priorities. In this case, the question to reflect on is, have we established a clear sense of priorities? Have we clarified what we will deprioritize or remove altogether from the current activity map to make space for the new work? So, Tim, which of the four possibilities is it? I think it is number 3 and number 4 Tim offered. It is quite clear now what my next actions must be this week. I will follow up individually with team members to find out exactly what concerns them so that I address the right problem. Key insight: to implement an effective solution, make sure you are clear about the problem you are trying to solve. Practice application. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, what problems are we trying to solve? Number 2, what evidence supports our analysis? And number 3, what other plausible reasons could explain the symptoms we have observed? Correct diagnosis begins by distinguishing between what is not the problem and what is the problem. For example, emergency room medicine is not about discovering what you have, but about ruling out a series of life-threatening scenarios.
Thanks for listening. The preceding was an excerpt from Aviv's book, Create New Futures.
Thank you for listening. Aviv always encourages his clients to identify the 1 or 2 ideas they can move forward into action immediately. What will you capture and apply today? You can always begin with a small action and then build momentum over time. When you move forward from an idea to action, you get immediate ROI, return on the time you invested, and return of learning. And then the learning cycle builds the success propulsion. One more thing. You can reach Aviv directly by phone and email to discover how he can help you create a new future for your business and organization. Creating your new future can begin today.